Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another GeekVerse review episode. This week is GV664, How to Train Your Dragon Spoilers Review. I am the Dragon Rider, Kirkland Patzer.
And I am the terrible Taylor, Taylor Field.
Terrible Taylor, Taylor Field. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Just the two of us. We were very privileged. We got to see the movie a whole day early. We had an early release here in our neck of the woods, so we saw the movie yesterday at the time of this recording, which would have been June 10th. And yeah, we're going to be unraveling, in my mind, my much anticipated release. This was a big movie on my movie draft this year too. So yeah, I have a lot of vested interest, I think, with this film. But before we get into our thoughts, just a couple of plugs. My gosh, what's on the feeds right now? We just came off Summer Games Fest. That was a big side quest, just shotgun blast of content that hit the feeds. Yeah, go check it. It's on the GeekVerse feed as well as its own side quest feed. Plenty of episodes came out there. The Switch 2 review snuck its way in there as well. That was you and Dylan, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, look at you holding your. How are you liking it? Are you playing it like every day?
Not every day, but Mario Kart's Mario Kart. But I did boot up Fire Emblem Sacred Stone, so I've been playing that on there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a good time.
That's awesome. I like to hear that. Yeah, and then beyond that, we've had a couple other reviews. We're getting ready for our 28 years later review, and all those retros are on the feeds. We finished up our Predator Killer of Killers review, so that's on the feeds. My gosh, Mission Impossible review. I guess that was also a more recent one. And then all of those retros are on the feeds. Plenty of retros on the feeds. And yeah. A lot of other new stuff dropping here and there. You and I did a fantastic dynamic duo cast this week. Big shout out to our Patreon producers. We got Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Superbad Mike, The Good God Loves Me 69, Jeremy Renner, Charlie Randell, and Cocktail Clay. They're at the highest tier of our Patreon support. We love each and every one of you. And yeah, thanks so much for all your support. Let's jump into it. Let's go to the land of Burke here, where there's dragons aplenty. I'm going to start off, of course, spoiler-free, as we always do. But Taylor Field, what's your history with the animated How to Train Your Dragon? And is it a franchise that's near and dear to your heart? Have you seen all the movies? Have you seen the TV show? I think it's only one TV show that came out. But yeah, how does this franchise sit with you?
I've not seen the TV show, but I have seen all three films.
Nice.
And going back, I don't think I saw this one right away. I think
like the first one.
The first one, yeah. Didn't. I don't think I've seen. Ooh, no. Maybe I saw the second one in theaters. That might be the only one. The rest, I never raced right away to see them. That being said, all I ever heard was good things, and I think that it's a franchise that got really, really large, really, really fast. And eventually, when I got around to watching these movies, I thought, holy smokes, these are very, very emotional journeys. There's a lot going on here, and there's definitely a sweet place in my heart for this franchise. I'm not rushing back and rewatching them all the time or just absolutely like over the moon like some people are, but I enjoy the soul that these movies have, and I enjoy the heartstrings that they can pull. And just the story, when it comes down to Hiccup and his Night Fury, Toothless, I just think that there's a really, really good morale, kind of humbling story embedded in here. And just from his journey from the first movie to the third movie it's incredible, all that change he goes through. But at its core, I do like that first one a lot, in the sense too that I was telling Madison this the other day. I know I've watched the whole thing, but when I've watched the whole thing, it was very much like a long, long time ago. And I remember the other iterations better than the first one. And so when I go back and I touch down on that first one, I really only remember the first, probably like 40 minutes, like up until like while he's doing like his training and stuff. That's all I really remember, is just the first little bit of the animated film. So when I was going into the live action one, I of course I know what happens in the end and everything like that, but there was still a lot, like it felt like fresh for me, and I'm really, really happy about that. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, but other than that, it's just I love this franchise. I really, really do.
Nice.
So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like you, I hadn't seen any of these movies like right away. I watched them a little bit later in life. The first one came out in 2010. I think I was like grade 8 or 9 around then, so it would have been like me in that era of like, oh, I don't watch kids movies anymore, you know, like I'm past that realm before I made the full circle swing to where I'm always watching animated movies now. But yeah, no, I was just a little bit out of my age range, I think, and like people around me weren't really watching it, so I didn't really hear a lot of positive or negative buzz about the movie. Knew that it was out, but yeah. Fast forward later on in life, Shay, my partner, she loves this movie, How to Train Your Dragon, the whole franchise. It's her absolute favorite. Like DreamWorks project. She's seen these movies so many times. So just by her love of it and like us rewatch them, I really grew to love these movies. I think the first time I watched the first one, like I was really impressed by it. It like starts off like pretty nothing too special, but then I feel like a lot of the Toothless and Hiccup dynamic stuff, it's really yeah, it's just really special, really cute, and tugs on your heartstrings. And it's also just like a fun world to jump into. I love this world. I love the just design for the dragons that they have in the animated series. I really like the art style. It fits so well. And yeah, like the voice actors that go with them are fantastic. So definitely has grown to become like one of my favorite anime movies ever, specifically the first movie. I really like the second one. I feel like it's pretty close to the first. The third one I always thought was like a strong like bottom going into this. And I've never seen the animated show, but Shay rewatched all the movies yesterday, and I just when I got home from work, she was on the third one, so we watched the third one together. And I must say, I was like way more positive on the third one on the second watch along. So yeah, that was a good time. But coming into the live action, I had a lot of high expectations just because, I mean, it's kind of like how I felt with the Avatar Last Airbender live action remake. Not the first live action. That was a whole nother thing. But no, like the Netflix series. Like I just love that original animated series so much. So I have such high expectations for it. And because of that, like said, I feel like I also knew in the back of my head like it wouldn't have met to that caliber. Best case is it gets close, and that's kind of how I feel overall for this live action. I think there is a lot of really special moments in it, but I still think for the vast majority of the movie, it's just like, oh yeah, it's pretty good adaptation, but in no way does it ever exceed what the original property did in my mind. I still had a really fun time with it. The score was slapping, as it always does. I really love the score from the original animated series, and just hearing those like the Toothless theme or whatever like come in, or even just the opening, like yeah, like when it has like the DreamWorks like logo right at the start, and you just hear that like Burke like theme song coming in, like it just gets me going. So it was a really fun theater experience. I thought the dragons looked, I don't know, I kind of have mixed feelings on the dragons because I think they did look good, but I still am kind of like, they just look so different from what like the dragons that I love from the series, which it's kind of hard to replicate because they have just very like animated drawn eyes, and it's kind of hard to replicate that in live action. And I don't think it would have looked like good maybe if they like really tried to make it look like that, like the animated dragons. So I do understand the choice to change the dragon. I mean, Toothless looks fantastic. That was a smart one to keep the same. You got to have those big googly eyes on that character. But yeah, for the most part, like I think it looks good as a live action adaptation. And it didn't seem like they changed like anything too crucial. Shay was filming me on there's a couple scenes that they cut out from the animated, but really nothing like changing the story per se. I haven't seen Lilo and Stitch live action, but I've heard they changed some things in there, and I feel like those were more significant changes than what they would have changed in this one. So yeah, no, I had a good time with this. I thought the cast was pretty good for the most part. Yeah, no, this was a fun time. I'm glad I left it and it wasn't like super disappointed, especially like this was Shay's favorite movie ever, and we watched it on her birthday, so that would have been pretty demoralizing if she would have hated that movie. But she really enjoyed it. So yeah, I definitely recommend this to fans of the franchise, even people that haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon before. Like, I think this actually is a good spot to start, because if you go from this to the animated, I think the animated is just better. So it's just like a natural progression to view them. So yeah, I think that's all I really have to say for now for spoiler free. Anything you want to throw in there?
It is quite a shame this way of live action adaptations kind of just inherits this horrendous reputation for changing things. I could not for the life of me pinpoint the differences between this movie and the animated one, except for one character, maybe
Is it the
two.
Cirrus? Is it the Cirrus chick with her little like counter things?
Yes,
like the town sage.
The town sage.
She is in the original animated.
I thought she was
movie.
When they were, this isn't a spoiler, but I was thinking, oh man, they're gonna give this woman like she's gonna be the main protagonist of this movie with how they were filming some of her shots. But no, I thought she was familiar in the cartoon.
I didn't remember her at all. Like I in the middle of the movie, I leaned over to Shay. I'm like, is this character new? Like, because it seems like there is a lot of spotlight on the character. Yeah. Minor spoiler alert: she doesn't say a single fucking word in the entire movie. Like it's like she's shown to be like leading up to a big monologue or something by the end of the film, but it just never happens. So yeah, I was kind of laughing about that because I with how many times I've rewatched that animated movie, I still don't remember seeing that character in the animated show. So yeah.
The other thing would have been a certain one of the kids. They added some extra stuff with them that I'm sure was not in the animated film from what I remember, but I loved all of that. I was cracking up at it, so that was a welcome change.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, let's unpack the all the changes. We'll take our first ad break here, go into spoilers, and then dive right in. All right, Taylor. We'll dive right in. Were you talking about Snotlout's dad?
Yes, I don't know the name, so I'm going to defer to your expertise.
I got the IMDb up. I like I said, I've seen the movies many times, but yeah, like their names, they go over my head. I know Astrid, Hiccup, Stoic, and Toothless, of course, but like even Nick Frost's character of Gobber, that's his name, which I think is I think it's like one of the best castings on the entire list here.
Yeah.
I thought Nick Frost did such a great job with that character. Looked very similar, the mannerisms and everything. Like the humor was like dead on with the animated version. But I still didn't know his name. Like, come on, they got goofy names. But yeah, no, Snotlout, who I must say I actually enjoyed him more in this live action than I did in the
you were
animated.
Laughing every time he was on screen.
He got me so good at so many different times. Like I think, especially like what you said with the addition of his father and how he has this like just daddy issues of just trying to impress his dad. It was just getting me. I think the placement of the jokes too was just like perfect, and like kind of the whole humor around the other crew of I got all their names here. It's Astrid, of course, and then Snotlout. Fish Legs was like the chubbier guy who was like knew all like the info. He was one that was making like the card game out of the dragons. And then we had Rough Nut, Tough Nut. Tough Nut was the male twin, and then Rough Nut was the female. And Rough Nut, like, I felt like I liked that character more amongst like out of all the crew, like in the animated movies. But in hindsight, I feel like she actually kind of has a more minor role in the first movie. Like as the movies go on, I feel like she becomes more of a just a louder character, and I like her humor just gets me a lot more. So I was okay with her being a little bit more of a backseat in this movie. Tough Nut, he was really good. I thought that was fantastic casting. I thought he was really good.
He looked like no offense, he did. He looked like the character. Holy crap!
Yeah, that was great casting.
Yeah, with I already snot breath. Is that his name? Snotlout. Jesus. Okay. Yeah.
So he's like, what kind of name is Hiccup? It's like your name is Snotlout.
So when he first like the troops are coming back, the Vikings are coming back, and he's like, oh, me and my dad, we got a great relationship. I love my dad. And this dad just walks off screen, and you just hear like, don't talk to me. That set the tone right there. That cracked me up. But yeah, everything he was doing and whatnot was just really, really, really funny. Oh my God. Cause he's just like a scumbag, wannabe Viking kind of character, but really, I really like that. And then Fish Legs, I really, really liked Fish Legs a lot. I was never like a huge Fish Legs kind of fan in the animated movies, but in this, I couldn't stop laughing when he would just be like, he was talking about pulling out all the cards and stuff and everything. I know that's stuff that's in the animated, but just that moment when they pull out the Book of Dragons and you just get this like 10-second scene that's zoomed in on him and he's like climaxing. And it was, that was some top tier.
He was excited to talk dragons.
That was 10 out of 10 face acting right there. Holy shit, that was incredible.
Yeah, that was cracking us up for sure. And then yeah, just rounding off the rest of the crew here, we got Astrid, of course, who yeah, I don't know. I thought she was fantastic. Nico Parker. I thought her performance was really, really good. Like, I was very much convinced that she was Astrid. She was badass character, slaying dragons, and I liked her chemistry on screen with Mason Thames. I hope I'm saying that right. Thames or Thames, the chap that played Hiccup. I thought she was really good. Her hair kept tripping me out, though. I thought it looked fine when it was zoomed in, but when it was zoomed out, she just had these like really crazy, because they were like braids, and then at the bottoms, it was just like really aggressive like split ends. I thought it just looked very, just like an explosion had gone off. It reminded me of like Looney Tunes, you know, when like Elmer Fudd is hunting and then Bugs Bunny like sticks his finger in the gun and it like blows up. That's what it looked like. Her hair, and just looked a little wiggy for me, but no, it's kind of a minor critique. I thought she was really good. Yeah, no, I don't really have anything else to say on those characters.
Yeah, her and everyone else, I think that they all came to play. I really, really did not feel like anyone was in there that was checked out. They were all checked in. They were bringing their A game, and I feel like, okay, they're here to deliver on these characters. And that's another thing that really, really sold me, was because I felt like they are present and they were not only having a good time, but just committed to these roles. Especially Gerard Butler. Holy shit. Yeah. Like I felt like this is his character. He's been voicing this character so long, and now he's here to like bring it. And I was like, you were laughing, I was laughing. When he walks into Hiccup's room, he's like, so you keeping secrets from me? And I'm like, God damn.
He's so about to just give him the belt or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
but he was great.
Oh, sorry.
No, go.
Yeah, no, he was fantastic. I bet when they, approached him, they're like, we're doing the live action and How to Train Your Dragon. I bet
you know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Because I always thought it was so great that like the animated version, like it literally just looks like Gerard Butler. Like they designed that character to look like Gerard Butler. So when I found out that he was like actually casted as Stoic in the live action, it's just that's just perfect. And yeah, I'm glad he didn't just phone in the performance. He was definitely chewing up the scenery and not overdoing it. Like I feel like it was on par with what the Stoic in the animated version was. And I love that character. I thought he was really, really good. I like to just see kind of the progression that he goes on throughout the series, and especially in this first movie. His dynamic with Gobber, Nick Frost's character, even the moments that he has with Astrid. Like I thought he was just a really good pillar throughout the whole film. And yeah, I feel like there is a lot of Stoic in the animated version, but I didn't really like catch it until I'm watching the live action, just because it's like Gerard Butler on screen and like his scenes just stick with me so much more than the animated version. But yeah, no, he was great.
Yeah, no, he was fantastic for sure. There's just every scene that he was on, I really liked it because he delivered on the comedic stuff and he delivered on the emotional stuff. When Hiccup he finds out about Hiccup, what's going on after the trial of fire, and then he's just like, you're not my son, and just like the intensity of that when it's like he's up in the doorway, then he turns and he walks away, and he's just like got those crazy eyes when he figures out where the nest is and has Toothless guiding them. Like he is so on point, and I love it. I love every second of that. But I mean, on the humorous notes, the other thing that really cracked me up is when they're about to do the trial of fire, and he's just like, I can finally show my face in public again. He's just so good. And a lot of those lines, I don't recall if they were in the animated version. Like,
I'm pretty sure they are. Like, for the most part. Like the humor of the animated movie is really good. Like, I think that's why this one was making me laugh so hard, was because it was staying true to that. But I'm pretty sure that scene, like, it's pretty much on par with the dialogue of the animated.
Was the helmet breastplate thing in the animated one?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that is. Yeah.
Okay. Because that made
Yeah,
me
that's what I
laugh
mean.
too.
Like a lot of the dialogue, like I was pretty impressed. Like the same lines, same line delivery, even was hitting really, really good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that sequence got me really good as well. And then I mean, our main guy, we haven't even talked about him yet, but Mason Thames as Hiccup. I feel like when the movie started, it's funny, the opening scene, it's like one of my favorite scenes of the franchise is the opening sequence, because you just get Hiccup narrating like introduction to the world. This is Burke, these are the dragons, this is like what we have to deal with, and it just kind of shows off like all the different types of dragons, at least at this point in the story. And I just think it does such a great job at establishing the dynamic of who the Vikings are, who the dragons are, who Hiccup is, and then the way that it ends is just like so great, where he's talking about just stoic and how fantastic he is, and it's like, oh yeah, one more thing, he's my dad, and then that just what sets us off on this dicey dynamic between Hiccup and stoic. I must say, I really wasn't a fan of the live action version. I think just because it was the first scene of the movie, I was really stoked. The score's hitting so well, and then it just gets to our character of Hiccup running around, and like they don't really show any of the dragons at this point. Like they're just kind of zooming by, and this is like the first minute of the movie, and I instantly just kind of get like a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Like, oh no, like, oh man, this is gonna feel really different. Like a huge part of these movies is the dragons, and they're already trying to hide them here. Like I really wasn't a big fan of the opening of it, but as we got underway with the overall adventure, I definitely opened it up to it more, and of course we see more of the dragons later on, like closer up scenes. And I'm glad I didn't feel that way throughout the whole film, because yeah, I was definitely a little bit off put just with that opening sequence. It just there was a couple other scenes in here that like they're pretty much the same shot for shot of the animated version, but it just didn't have the same magic that the animated sequence had. And if I were to pull one, like I feel like it's the first time that they're doing like the trials, not trials actually, like dragon practice, like when Hiccup's there. I don't know. It just maybe it's just because I've seen those scenes so many times, and the way that like the animated character is just like moving with their body language, like it just something about it just makes me like that version a lot more. But then there's like scenes between Hiccup and Toothless, like when they're meeting, and I'm just like almost in tears. Like it's just like, wow, they pulled it off. Like it's like shot for shot. This is perfect live action remake. So and I guess that's what ties into what I said earlier in the spoiler free section, how like the best moments of this movie, it just kind of like gets to the best moments of the animated version. So I can never put this one above it, but I didn't really think I was going to be getting that effect going into this movie anyways. But yeah, no, Hiccup. What did you think about him, our lead here? You think he did a good job?
I think he did a great job. I really like Jay Baruchel, and when it comes to this actor taking on the mantle of Hiccup, I think the two have really kind of merged into one. I think it really works, and he like I said with everyone else, he was checked in for sure. He was there to deliver, and he did a good job. He we got to see his little intro video too at the start alongside Tom Cruise.
I thought it was Tom Cruise. Yeah, he looks like a little Tom
movies.
Cruise in that. There's gonna be a video release when they're making How to Train Your Dragon 2, and it's like, I'm on the phone every night with producers, directors. He's like, you're fucking done. He's just yelling at the whole cast and crew.
All these kids. Train Your Dragon.
I'm sick and tired of it. You're done. So he's on the
just having fun, man. Making movies, big adventure, having a great time.
Like he looks like him. Like, you know, fast forward like really 50 plus years, but
he does. He can play an old Hiccup for sure.
Hopefully his career is as good as Tom Cruise with less controversies in the long run.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, I think he did a very, very good job. Really, really happy with it, and I think too that his chemistry on screen with every other character was really, really good. And I can see what you mean in some of those scenes where it's just, I guess, the animated, it's the movements are different. I really liked when he was on screen with Toothless and everything he was doing, and when he was like flying with Toothless, and I think the CGI was great. You mentioned this prior, I forgot to touch upon it. The dragons, it didn't bother me too much. Their comparison to their counterparts in the animated version, and I think that's largely due to just a lack there of me being familiar with them. So I can see why, like, if you've grown attached to that animated look and how it's different in this version, that it can be a little bit of like, I don't know. But yeah, I think as far as CGI goes in general, I'm really happy with how the characters look with the dragons. Again, like everything with Hiccup and the actor having to act out these scenes and move around with Toothless there and bringing the fish and everything. I loved all of that. It looks great, especially in these set locations, because they filmed this. Did they film it in Ireland? I think.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, just beautiful. Oh my gosh, just beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very impressed with how well of a job that they did with that casting and how well he did, because I don't think I've seen him in anything else. I'm not sure if this is even maybe his first project. I'll do a quick look here.
He was in The Black Phone.
Oh, was he really?
Played Finney. I haven't seen that movie, so I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Holy smokes. I never made that kind of connection. Wow.
You know who else is in this that you did not make the connection, and neither did I?
Who's that?
Kate Kennedy apparently played Flatula, who is Kai from the Halo series.
Ooh.
You remember Kai?
I remember Kai.
The one that's obsessed with Chief? Yeah. I don't remember her character at all. I'm assuming it's just one of the Vikings that was probably raiding that island with Stoic.
I can't find her in the cast here, but yeah, she must be. There were a few Vikings that they were highlighting and giving a little bit of extra kind of like attention to.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. It was kind of. I'm glad we didn't go deep with those storylines. You know.
Yeah.
That's not the adventure I'm here for.
No. Jeez Louise. Well, I'll have to rewatch it just to see who Kai was, because that's crazy.
Yeah. I wonder if she has any lines at all. Okay. Well, maybe we'll take our next ad break here, and then we'll keep unpacking this pony. All right, unpacking the pony here. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go next?
Oh my goodness.
What do we got? We touched upon our lead. Oh, that was actually what I wanted to add on our lead. Something that you brought up with Jay Baruchel. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I really like this actor, but for Jay's voice, I just feel like is Hiccup in my mind. And like there's moments where this actor Mason Thames, he sounded like Jay with like certain moments, like whether he was talking about some certain dragons. So I thought he did a great Hiccup voice, but there's still many scenes where I'm like, oh, I'm just missing Jay's voice in this specific scene. I just feel like there's something about it. It's kind of like pitchy and whiny in a certain way, and I just feel like that fits the character of Hiccup so well. So yeah, that's again, if I'm picking at straws and really trying to nitpick here, it would be still preferring Jay, but I also still prefer the animated movie over this.
Yeah. No, that's fair. There were definitely, I agree, there were some moments where the two crossed over, and you wouldn't even think that it's a different voice actor being Jay Baruchel. So I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. There was another scene that because like touch about what we said about like the CGI. I thought the CGI actually looked really, really impressive for the most part, and I'm very picky when it comes to specifically like live action characters with CG elements in daylight. I just feel like the green screen, it just looks so bad, and it always has like a really high like saturation, like shiny effect to it, and I just feel like it stands out so much. And honestly, in this movie, I feel like I didn't really have a lot of those moments, and there is a lot of daylight scenes with dragons and with our characters, and like I was just really impressed that those scenes weren't bothering me at all. There is nighttime sequences which even look better. The moment though when Hiccup is trying out like the saddle with Toothless, and he has like his little like drawing diagram to like show him like which which movements, and that's when he
Yes.
falls off, and then Toothless like grabs him. That scene went on like a little bit too long for me, and I just think it's because it had like a lot of shaky cam effects going on. Like it was really just all over the place, especially when he falls off. It's like pretty much getting to that Morbius cement trunk level of just like CGI stuff, like rolling around in the sky. It is a long scene in the like in the animated version as well, so I understand why it went on as long as it did. But that one was just like, okay, my eyes are starting to get a little bit sore here. I couldn't imagine trying to tackle that scene in a 3D movie theater experience. But yeah, that one bugged me a little bit. But I mean, even like the big climax at the end, I still thought looked really good. Even though we have a lot of dragons, it helps again that it is more of a nighttime scene. But and I mean, like the big like alpha dragon, I thought that looked really impressive as well.
Yeah, that whole fight scene with the catapults and everything, like that was really awesome. And the big dragon looks super cool, and I knew that was part of the story and that was going to be coming into play. Question for you: is that that's not the same dragon that you see, I think, in the second one, a Bewilderbeast dragon?
No.
Because I think the Bewilderbeast is like the main head honcho, biggest one, and so this is just another smaller version.
Yeah, in this one they established that like the dragons, like they just have this alpha, and that's like what's kind of leading, I guess, this sector of dragons. Because like all the ones that are kind of raiding the land here, like they all report back to that alpha it's set up, and then and by the time we get to the second movie, the wildebeest is like. It's almost like a god-like dragon, like versus what this one is, because like at the end here, Toothless kind of becomes the new alpha out of those two. So I think that's a little difference there. But yeah, because it takes a pretty explosive end at the end. Like Toothless fucks up his wings. He's got like Swiss cheese wings, and then he like goes head first right into the side of the volcano, and then just like explodes. I think this one's pretty much dead on arrival, but yeah, he was a big boy.
Yeah, that was gravity was working against this big guy. I don't know how it could even fly, get off the ground. That's crazy.
It was reminding me of Vagar from House of the Dragons, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's
how big comparison. He is, especially when he's like on Toothless's ass, like right on the tail.
Yeah,
I guess we haven't really talked. Oh, sorry.
No. I was just gonna say I was getting the vibes, like kaiju vibes.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about Toothless too much. I thought Toothless was just 10 out of 10. Like just really great attention to detail that they had for the character. Toothless is just like a puppy dog in my eyes, and just like nailed all of those isms. I feel like this is what makes these movies special, is like that dynamic between Hiccup and Toothless, and like they are the core of the whole series in my mind. And it, like if you don't hit that really well, like if that isn't tugging on your heartstrings, like their meeting and all like the scary moments that those two characters have, then they kind of failed in my mind. But no, they definitely pulled it off. I thought all of that stuff was really fun. When he brings the fish, and just all the moments when Astrid's there, and Toothless just has a bit of an attitude towards her, and then of course kind of opens up to him. But yeah, no, I thought Toothless was really well done, and nothing I would throw in there like for critiques on how to improve it. I thought it was just perfect. So yeah,
I agree. Everything with Toothless was fantastic. Really loved that character. Very much enjoy the connection that they share with Hiccup and Toothless. I'm curious, and in retrospect, I think I already know the answer to this. The fish head eating scene, is that from the animated one too?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so. I couldn't remember that.
Oh,
when he
yeah.
Pukes the head up of the fish, and he's gonna eat it.
Yeah. And he gets Hiccup to eat it. Yeah, he does. It's way grosser in live action. Like just the detail of it, like just the
chunks.
stuff on his lips. Oh, it was a long scene too.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't very long, but it felt long, which is how gross it was.
Yeah.
The other scene that I know for a fact they changed, because Shay told me this afterwards, which I gasped audibly, and I'm pretty sure you did too in the movie theater, but with me. But it's when they take Astrid on the ride, and then they like just throw her like on this like fucking side of a pillar, like a stone pillar in like the middle of the ocean. And she, like, it's not even like they land her like on the top where it's safe. Like they just throw her to the side, and she's like holding on for dear life. And it's just, holy fuck, man! Like could have murdered Astrid right there. But no, in the animated show, or sorry, movie, they drop her in a tree, so it's a lot safer.
No kidding.
Of a sequence there.
Jesus.
And then Shay also told me another scene that they didn't have in this, which is a fun, cute scene in the animated, is when Astrid's like trying to figure out what's going on. Like it's when Hiccup's really kicking ass in dragon training school, and she's like she's like, what the hell's going on? And there's many sequences of her like almost catching like the two of them in the town, and then it's like them just kind of like, it's almost like a Scooby-Doo like chase scene, like the way that they're hiding from her. And I think it's another one that just plays a lot better in animated, so I'm okay with that one staying in the animated sphere.
Yeah. And they alluded to it a little bit, I guess, with her like chasing after him the one time.
True. Yeah, absolutely. There's another scene that I'm surprised. I'm surprised and glad that they had it in here, but I still think it plays a lot better in the animated movie, is when they're fighting the big bad alpha at the end, and you have Snotlout like on the head of the dragon, and he's just like smacking him in the eye. Oof. And then Astrid like flies in and is like, now that's dragon slaying, and like just like totally like pumping him up, and he's just like, as if he sees like his one true love, gets hit by Cupid's arrow, and he just has like rose tinted glasses, and he just like kind of freezes in the moment. And in like the live action, I feel like if you aren't familiar with that scene, like you wouldn't think that this was anything, because they don't like play music at all. There's just like a quick moment of him like freezing, and then he gets hit, and it's really quick, and I just think it plays a lot better in the animated. But as soon as it happened on the screen, it just like clicked and made me think of that moment. So it made me laugh, even though I thought it didn't play particularly the best, because I think it would have gone over a lot of people's heads if they didn't have that scene already in their head.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, what more do we have to really unravel here?
I was trying to think, but like it's pretty cut down the middle. I mean, it's like we've talked about, it's pretty dang close to what the original is in terms of just scene copying scene, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. When you have all these other movies, like you already said, there's Lilo and Stitch had a huge amount of change to it, and I can advocate for that. They changed so much with that movie, and it's weird because it's like they're trying to change it up and make it for the better. And I thought I read an article that was saying how with this movie they were going to make it different from the animated version, but I'm very happy with what we got, and I like that it was exactly as I expected it to be and wanted it to be, because just seeing it in live action is good enough for me, because it's a fresh new take, right? So
yeah, I mean, I don't really have issues with like properties changing things for the sense of like telling a better version of their story. I think the best example of that is like the Lord of the Rings novels. Like there's certain storylines that they completely hack and slash out for the movies, and it makes sense why they would do that, because you don't have like 30 plus hours to tell that story. Like you have to cut out some storylines. So that is totally fine. I think I would prefer the novel version, but I still appreciate the version of what the movie did. Just because the way that it tells that story with that amount of time that we have. And I think in certain adaptations, whether you're going from an animated movie to a live action movie, like just for practicality's sake, like it probably makes sense to hack certain things out. But I felt like everything that they did here, it made sense why they may have hacked something, and I don't even think it was really hacked out. It's more of like surgically removed because it was just so minor. So yeah, I mean, clearly, like we brought up Lilo and Stitch, that's an example. It sounds like they did change some things in there, so I'll have to wait and see what that is when I actually see that movie. Have you seen that one yet?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
We took our kid to see that
Nice.
first time in theaters, and the kid enjoyed it. But
Nice.
for us, the original is where it's at, and you're spending most of your time nitpicking, like, oh, well, they changed that, they did this differently, and it sucks because I think at its time when that movie came out, it's it's a different demographic, so they were hitting on jokes that you probably wouldn't make today, and they did certain things that you definitely don't see the live action version, right? And it's just it's because times have kind of changed and whatnot. That being said, this movie was 2010 when it first came out, so I feel like that time period, like, I can't remember how that squares up with Shrek. Shrek was before, so the kind of humor that we would have got was a little bit more cultivated for this era, if that makes sense. So I think when you have a movie that is older and you try to change it, like Snow White, for example, that was definitely that's a very old movie, and they really wanted to put a fresh coat of paint on that and change it and to change over from what the original story was a little bit. So I think the older an animated film goes back to when they want to do a live action adaptation, I think you run a higher risk. I think the blueprint for a successful animated to live adaptation is to pick an animated film that is recent, as shitty as that sounds, like How to Train Your Dragon 2010. Because so far, I would, in my opinion, I think this is the best live action adaptation that I've seen. So
nice. Yeah. I can't really think of all the ones I have seen, but none of them are like sticking out at the top of my head. So maybe I think I would be inclined to agree with you. Yeah,
I'll have to do a letterbox list.
Sorry?
I'll have to do a letterbox list and just throw it in there so I can see it.
That's a good idea. I also feel like it helps though that like this is already probably one of my most favorite animated stories. So like the fact that it's like so similar to that makes me like this one a lot more. So there's definitely something to that. But yeah, no, I think I would have to agree with you. It's my favorite one, and they just did a really good job with it. I guess my question to you is: do you want to see a sequel? Do you want to see the rest of the story told with these live action actors?
This first movie is told in a way that you don't really need to get that sequel. Yeah. So that being said, I for sure want it. I think they knocked it out of the park. I would love to get a sequel. I'd love to get that third one. I think it's great. But at the end of the day, I'm not complaining. I want to go and watch How to Train Your Dragon 2, and I'm okay to watch the animated one, and I'm okay to watch the third one too, because I know it's continuing the story. So I'm down for that. If we never get the live action counterparts, I'll raise you and toss a question your way. Would you want a sequel, or would you take another DreamWorks project live action adaptation, like Shrek live action or something like that?
Wow, that's a good question. Yeah, there's a lot of projects they could pull from. I think I would go a sequel though. I think sequel? I like the progression of the characters of Hiccup and Astrid and the rest of the crew as the series goes along, and I honestly think like they might get better as they go along. Maybe that's not such a crazy take, but it just feels like the more these characters are maturing naturally, I feel like the actors that are portraying them will just do a good job at kind of covering that progression. So and showing that. So yeah, and I mean I'm really intrigued also with the second movie's just dragons and stuff and dynamics that they introduced with a lot of like watery type biomes that we're going to. Basically like a Way of Water type sequel. So yeah, I'm totally down for a sequel, and I think I would prefer that over a new live action.
Okay, I'm just gonna name off a couple things here, just in case you want to change your mind. You've got The Wild Robot. You could get a live adaptation of that, even though it just came out last year, so that would be bold.
Yeah, I'll
pass. Shark Tale.
Okay, I think pass on that one too. I don't like the idea of a live action little Will Smith fish.
How about Megamind?
Megamind, that's a good one. I'm still taking the sequel.
Okay. How about Madagascar?
I'm still taking it.
Okay. Okay. How about have you flushed away? I couldn't see that live action. That's a hard no for me.
No, that's a no.
I mean, we got the Bee movie.
Is Monsters vs. Aliens in there too?
It is in there, yes.
Yeah, pass also.
Yeah, you know, when I look at it, like, there's a lot.
I think Megamind would be a close one.
Megamind would be a close one, yeah. I guess there's the Road to El Dorado. I would definitely take that, actually.
Oh, damn. Yeah, actually, that's a good one. I would still take the sequel, though. But that one's
Still
close.
take the sequel? Yeah. I think it's, I don't know. I mean, as far as their projects go, it's How to Train Your Dragon is definitely a strong one. I'm curious now. I'm just going to look and see what the box office was for that first one. Box office 2010. Let's see here. Okay, so the first one had 165 million budget, and it had a gross earnings of 494 million. So that's 2010. So that's I'm not, Travis isn't here, but is that a success? To me, it is.
I think
Go back 15 years.
Yeah.
10th highest grossing film of 2010. There you go.
Big time. Big juice. Yeah, I'm interested in what this one's gonna do, numbers wise. We had wasn't a full theater, but it was also, you know, not the actual day of release. But our theater seemed to be pretty into it. There were some applauses and stuff at the end.
Yeah.
I heard someone next to you was applauding at the end.
Oh, she always likes to rile the crowd up. Yeah. So whenever we're seeing a movie like this, yeah, she starts dropping her applauses in there.
Did she ever try and get them like riled up, like if they didn't like it? Like, what the fuck was that shit?
She started the chicken jockey thing, actually.
She brought her fireworks in.
Yeah. The real chicken, all of that. That's all her.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Taylor Fields, number rating. What do you think about this one?
I really just could not see any cons. I felt like everyone was there. They were bringing it. The passion was there. I enjoyed this movie from start to finish. Even though I knew how things were going to go, narratively speaking, I still had, you know, gasps and like, oh my God, like, oh, this is crazy. And I was really, really encapsulated and mystified by the scenery and the set pieces, everything that they were doing. I was totally on board with it, and I'm so excited to rewatch this movie. Even when I looked over at Madison, she's like, "This is a movie that I want to own." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm happily gonna buy this. Let me find the steel case. Like, let's do it." So I'm gonna give this a solid 10 out of 10. This is. I know Sinners is my number one of the year right now, but I just need to kind of go back and just really feel on both of these. I've been craving to rewatch Sinners, and it's on streaming now, or on VOD. And as soon as that drops on DVD, I'm going to grab that. And I think I need to rewatch that just to see, okay, is this going to be a reaffirmation of my first for the year? Because so far now it's between these two. They're wobbling back and forth. So
nice. Yeah, that's should have had you go second. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I think that the first movie is a 10 out of 10, and I think this one is not quite to that caliber, so I can't really give this one a 10 out of 10. I think I'm going to go an 8.75. Not quite a 9, but I still think those toothless hiccup scenes, those are like my favorite scenes in the animated, and they still were like tugging at my heartstrings here in the live action. So that was goal achieved, I think, in that regard. And it's still, I really felt like I was in Burke. They did a really good job with it. Gerard Butler was great to see. Hope to see him again, and if we get the sequel. Very disappointing end credit scene. I can't believe we stayed for that. That was crazy. You got
I don't know
a
how to
scene that
interpret
was in the movie.
Yeah,
garbage.
Just him, like, because he makes enhancements, right? So that's what they're alluding to. But I don't know. I feel bad because I said it out loud, kind of, because I want other people to not miss anything and getting some shady looks.
That guy behind you is like, what the fuck
guy.
was that? Why'd you make me say? You're like closing the door, like, hey, nobody out. You gotta wait for the end credit scene. But no, this was a really good time. I definitely recommend people seeing this in theaters. Fun theatrical experience, and let us know what you thought in the Discord and comments, wherever you want to give your thoughts. Join the Patreon, all that jazz. Let's get out of here, Taylor Fields.
Let's do it.
Until next time, we will see you then.
Bye.
Yeah!